Welcome back. You're still watching This Morning on Metro Television. It's time for us to talk. And our guest this morning, well, you know her face, of course, if you watch Metro TV every time, and especially on Sundays. Yes, she's Natalie Takyi-Appiah. She's an adolescent advocate and also the founder of Next Chapter and also the host of Listen here on Metro Television. And today we're talking, everything adolescents, and getting into the university, all of that. It's a very important topic, as I mentioned earlier. We need to talk about it. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you here to talk about adolescent life, because we've all been there before. As you speak to them, your daily interactions with them, what are some of the things that they tell you that intrigues you? We've all been there before. And, well, of course, you are a senior. you were there some years back. So when you listen to the things that they say nowadays, what do you make of, the adolescents we have, these days?
They kind of think they know what they're about. They have a clue, but they need guidance. But they feel the need to be given the opportunity to make their mistakes, to learn from them. But what they don't realize is that the parent is also thinking, okay, what are the chances you can bounce back from this mistake? And then naturally, as parents, we panic, So for them, they think, oh, we're there, we're grown, we're adolescents, we've reached that age, we know what we want, so you can't kind of dictate to us, but rather you should negotiate with us, yes. Interesting.
And I was going to ask that, as a parent, when you have an adolescent child, what do you do? Do you let the person be free? Do you have so much protection over the person? Or what exactly do you do?
Personally, I am an overprotective parent, but again, I give you the opportunity for us to talk.
Okay.
And I think it's also based on the background and the culture you've grown up in. So if you have a blend of different cultures, then what happens is it's a merge.
Okay.
But if you're coming strictly from one particular culture, your mindset is different as a parent. If you're coming from, so it's that way. But my daughter and I, for example, we have quite an open relationship ever since she was a child. We talk a lot about everything. And then we have our moments where we fight. So there's nothing like perfect parenting. So if you think you're a perfect parent, and nobody got time for that. It doesn't work. No.
But I want to look at the struggles. Because I would say during my time, I'm a 95 born, and from 2008, 9, 10, social media wasn't as prominent as it is now. So often when we have issues, we go to our parents. But now when we have issues with certain things we feel we can't talk to our parents, we go on Google. What can I do this? What can I do? So I want to know, what are the struggles today youth experience most?
You've nailed it. It's the social media, and then also parents don't seem to be available. So even the child, your time, you said you could go to your parent, but the child that wants to go to the parent now is not feeling that I have that welcoming space to go to the parent. So yes, they'll go to social media, they'll go to their friends first, But it's more about parent availability. And then if you're available, is the environment, have you created that space for the child to be able to communicate? So if we don't have these factors in place, then really we haven't done anything.
And the ones you meet, do they have that availability of meeting their parents, talking to them about everything from sex to boyfriend to menstruation?
No, not at all. I've met, I would say to date, since July 14 will be 10 years since we started this project. And we've met maybe about 500,000 plus adolescents across the country. Now, when you take every 10 girls and you ask, how many of you have the menstruation talk from your mom, you get just one person.
I also did. Mine was even worse. Personally, I didn't. It was just a statement she made that you have become a woman now. If you get pregnant, that is it. Because I was naive, 12 years, seeing blood in my pants for the first time, and you tell me this, I'm like, well.
No information whatsoever. And sometimes I wonder is it that parents don't know, or they're too shy to talk about
it? I think it's the shyness.
It's the shyness.
It's the shyness.
But it's a way of life for every woman.
I think they also believe that it's best covered.
Yeah.
The other thing too is they leave it too late. As young as the little girl is, at every age you have a talk guide for them to understand.
Okay.
So you have to start at a very early age. You don't wait till they turn 10 or they start menstruating before you start talking about it. Because when you do that, you can't do it. You need an icebreaker. And your ability to have that talk with a girl child, it makes a difference. You give her that openness to be able to communicate to you about everything.
Yeah.
So if you can't do that, then, you know, and most of the time, the mothers who are struggling to do it, they didn't get it either.
Themselves,
True.
True.
They didn't get it either. So you get some mothers who didn't get it. You know, I believe that as a parent, you want to give your child more than your parents gave you.
Yeah.
So if your parents didn't give you the talk, then yours is to make sure that your daughter gets the talk.
Okay, now let's zoom into settling into the
university
university.
That's crazy.
I mean, if we continue this conversation, we'll not go. But then, when I chose my university, I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew which university I took. Even nobody knew the senior high school I took. Yes.
That's brave.
Exactly. And so I just went for it. Now, what my expectation was, when I moved to the university, this and this and this is what I mean. That overwhelmingness I didn't get. I was like, university nani. You see. Now, let's talk about settling into the university, the adolescents you meet. What are some of the challenges that run through their head?
First of all, they're one character before they go into the university. And then they get in there and they become a different identity.
Yeah.
So I think one of the places you get peer pressure a lot is in university. For example, you take a typical Christian child who gets on campus. Maybe she's got roommates who are party goers, and they make her feel like you're not living the life. She wants to fit in, so she starts to stray. You get to come, they get into university and they think, oh, I'm ready to have a boyfriend.
Yes.
She doesn't even want to, but her roommates and her friends, and to the extent that sometimes they're organizing a boy or a girl for you.
A link up.
Okay. They call it hookup. But
Yes. Ours was a link up, now it's hookup.
You know, so university is a place where they find a different identity, but if they do not have the guidance and the information or the orientation, then it goes haywire.
Yeah. I can I understand that.
You were a guy, so talk from your angle.
I stayed in the university for 6. And after the 4 years, I was still on campus for 2. So I understand how, some people come into level 100 and they have a certain mindset. They get to 200, it's different. 300, 400 is also different. Now, what would be your advice for adolescents? They will see people come from the university, come and tell them all these stories.
Yeah.
They're excited about it. And so, I'm going to UG, I'm going to LEG, I'm going to UCC. Yeah, of course, the best university. And then
No, I don't know about UCC. University, you're no one in the
So what advice would you give to them to help them cope with especially the first semester, where you've got to understand your environment, your lectures, the social part that comes with it?
No, before I answer that, my dad went to University of Ghana years ago, and my father had 5 daughters, and each one of them, when you go to first year, he doesn't allow you to take a stove. He said when they were in university, the girls who had the stoves, they never did any learning. They were just cooking for boys. So first year, you do not go with a stove. He will bring you breakfast, lunch, supper.
Wow.
What? So it tells you how far back this has been going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad did not allow us to take a stove. So second year, then you are allowed. Now, you're going into university. Parents must give them information, because academics, the way you learn in SHS is different from the way you learn in university. The friends you make, the way you make friends in SHS is different. Sometimes SHS, the friends you have, you probably went to JHS with them. You probably even went to kindergarten with them.
Yeah.
But when you get to university, it's like Noah's Ark. Every species is in there. So first of all, your learning systems. You need to understand that it's a different level. More is expected of you. The choice of friends you make. If you've made mistakes in the past, this place, if you make that mistake, you don't. you know, your relationship, your spiritual life, very, very, I mean, I am a pastor, I always talk about spiritual life, okay, and then also your, how you mix and go into people's rooms. You know, when you take 10 girls on campus, 6 have been raped before, because come and visit me, come and visit me, come to my room, come to my room, and it's innocent to her, but she gets in there and it's a different thing altogether. But because of the way it happened, she can't talk about it. She carries it. Tomorrow you hear that thing. And then there's this issue of, you know, the percher, being the most annoying one in the room.
Yes.
Intimidating the one who's paid for the room. That's another thing. Then depression and suicide. So it's a whole different, what should I say, planet?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. When your parents take you there to go to school and things are not going well, you can tell them that this is what is happening. So you have to keep it to yourself and share that with your friends.
University is pressure.
Yeah.
So if you do not have the opportunity to be able to talk to your parents, maybe sometimes you think, I want to change this course or I want to change that. So you find a lot of them in there. Sometimes they're even studying courses they don't want to and they're struggling, but they can't even talk about it because there's nobody really to talk about it. So when we put children in university, we must be there for them. Not just, I mean, if you're there for them from the beginning of their education, university is the time they need you the most. It's important.
Let's talk about the program, the upcoming program.
The next chapter.
The next chapter, settling into the university. Tell us about it.
So the next chapter is a program we organize for adolescents at the beginning of every major stage of their lives.
Okay.
So we do JHS into SHS, SHS into university, and university into the corporate world. Okay. Now, we didn't get the opportunity to organize the university one before they went into school. So they've come home on vacation. We want to take advantage of it. And I think it's also a good time because they've come back with all sorts of experiences and they need clarity. So what we're doing on Friday the 24th, that's tomorrow, at 8 a.m. at the Ghana Police Church near 37 Military Hospital. Yeah, what we're going to have is different resource persons. So we're going to talk about academics at the university level, how to study. We're going to talk about relationships. We have Dr. Newman Arthur. He's going to talk about relationships, how to identify which is the right relationship. Are you even ready to go into a relationship? Because when they get there, it's a different galore. We're going to talk about social media.
Okay.
Very important.
Yes. We're going to talk about how to manage your finances on campus. We're going to talk also about rape, abuse, bullying, depression, suicide. So it's a full holistic event. Okay. It's a breakfast event. So we're going to discuss everything, question and answers. And there's an addition we've added to the university level of next chapter. So anybody who wants to go through internship, because we find that it's important you get some work experience and understand what you're studying. I mean, when I was reading my master's in HR, I was working in HR. So you go to school, you learn, you come to work, you apply it. And the experience you pick at work, it helps you to, write your essays. And master's is really experience sharing, So that's one of the things we've added to the program so that they can get the opportunity to excel.
So tomorrow, 8 a.m. at the Ghana Police Church.
Ghana Police Church.
Yeah, so all the adolescents, parents, if you're watching, make sure that you get your children to be there.
Yeah. Yes.
It is very important. And of course, I think they've got to, doing something out of the books on campus. Yeah. Very, very important. Thank you so much, Natalie.
So for registration and further information.
We have some phone numbers.
I have it here.
Okay, great. Okay. Yes, please.
So for the first number, 020-799-0813. 020-799-0813. The next one is 020-694-0495. 020-694-0495. And the last one is 054-785-4287.